Secure 65 health plans where seniors thrive.
Hi, and welcome back to Secure 65 Health Plans, where seniors thrive. I'm Monet Swan, your go-to senior advocate, your Medicare expert, and your part-time teller of uncomfortable truths. Today, we're diving into some news that's got a lot of folks scratching their heads and clutching their wallets, especially seniors who are living on fixed incomes. So buckle up because this one's a doozy. So what's going down? Well, did you know that the Senate voted to repeal the cap on bank overdraft fees? Yep, you heard me right. You know those ridiculous fees that slap you on the wrist every time your checking account dips a little too low? Yeah. Well, they were supposed to be capped at $5 per transaction starting this October. But now that plan's been tossed right out the window because why make it easier for everyday folks to manage their money when you can keep those $35 fees just rolling in, right? Gotta make sure the banks are doing just fine, even if the rest of us are eating peanut butter for dinner 3 nights a week. Seriously though, seniors, this matters to you, especially if your budget's already stretched thin, or you were laid off, or you just lost thousands in the market. So let's break down what just happened and why it's a big deal. Let's start with what this rule is all about. The original rule was put in place by the Biden administration back in December. It said that banks with more than $10 billion in assets had to cap their overdraft fees at $5 per transaction. Sounds fair to me, right? Considering most banks charge about $35 on average right now, that could have saved people up to $5 billion a year. And that's not pocket change. That's groceries, that's prescriptions, and there's gas money for a lot of people. But nope, 52 senators decided that capping those fees was just a little too generous for the rest of us. So now the House of Representatives gets to have their say. If they vote yes, banks can keep right on charging those sky-high fees. So much for protecting the little guy. But here's the bottom line. If you overdraft your account, even by a few bucks, expect to pay through the nose. Sure, some banks offer protection by pulling from those savings, but they'll still hit you with a fee for that convenience. So much for being nice to loyal customers. And let's be honest, seniors on fixed incomes are hit the hardest. One little misstep in your checking account and bam, $35 gone. It doesn't matter if it's for coffee, a prescription, or even your grandkid's birthday card. You're paying the price for it. And before we go any further, I put together a complete guide on how to protect yourself from overdraft fees, tips on negotiating with your bank, and budgeting tricks to keep your finances on track. You can download it for free just by clicking the link below. You can get it sent straight to your email or download it directly to your device. Don't let these fees catch you off guard. Take charge of your money today. And while you're at it, hit that like button, share this podcast with your friends, and subscribe for more straight talk just like this. Okay, now you might be asking yourself, what happens next? Well, the vote still has to pass the House before it becomes official. But given how the Financial Services Committee has already backed a similar move, it's not looking great for consumers. The American Bankers Association, known as ABA, is loving this, of course. Their CEO was practically doing backflips after a Senate vote saying that without overdraft fees, people would run to shady high-risk lenders because that's the only option, right? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you something. If your bank's charging you ridiculous fees and refusing to work with you, maybe it's time to consider moving your money elsewhere. Plenty of community banks and credit unions don't lean on overdraft fees to pad their profits. And there are budgeting apps like Simplify by Quicken that help you track your spending so you don't ever get caught off guard. So here are some tips I put together so that you can protect yourself. Number one, set up alerts. Make sure your bank notifies you when your balance gets low. Number two, link your accounts. Connect your saving to checking for automatic coverage. Just watch out for those transfer fees. Number three, use budgeting apps. Keep tabs on your spending so you're not caught off guard. Number four, talk to your banks. Some banks are willing to waive fees if you call and explain the situation. Okay, I'm glad we got through all that. I told you what's going on and gave you some real life solutions. Now, before we sign off, let me leave you with this. If you know someone who's struggling with overdraft fees or just needs help managing their finances, reach out. I've opened up some spots on my calendar to talk through these challenges. You're not alone, and I'm right here with you navigating these waters as a senior myself. You can set up a time to chat by clicking on the link below. You guys, I'm not just a Medicare agent or a business owner. I'm a senior just like you. I know what it's like to live on a budget, and I've made it my mission to help others not just survive, but to thrive. So reach out, stay informed, and stay financially secure. And thanks for spending your time with me. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. So, how do we close? Well, we say stay smart, stay happy, and stay informed. But this time, don't you dare let anyone or anything steal your joy. Always, and I mean always, stay golden. Love you guys.
Secure 65 health plans. We're seeing